Who was Richard Whiting? Why was he the last abbot of Glastonbury? Why is he considered a martyr for his faith? Welcome to Medieval Chronicles 1066. Richard Whiting, Order of Saint Benedict, 1461, November 15, 1539, holds a significant place in English history as the last abbot of Glastonbury and a martyr of the Catholic Church. His tenure coincided with the dissolution of the monasteries, 1536 to 1541, under King Henry VIII, a turbulent period that ultimately led to his execution for treason due to his unwavering loyalty to Rome. Whiting's life and death offer poignant insights into the religious and political upheavals of 16th century England. Let's delve into Whiting's early life, education, ecclesiastical career, the flourishing and fall of Glastonbury Abbey under his leadership, his trial and execution, and his legacy. Early life and education. Richard Whiting was born around 1461 near Rington, Somerset. His early education took place at Glastonbury Abbey, one of the oldest and wealthiest monasteries in England. This institution was not only a center of spiritual life, but also a hub of economic and cultural activities. The monks of Glastonbury were renowned for their scholarly pursuits and dedication to preserving Christian teachings and knowledge. Whiting's formative years were profoundly influenced by this environment, nurturing his intellectual and spiritual development. Following his initial education at Glastonbury, Whiting continued his studies at the monks' hostel at Cambridge University. In 1483, he graduated with a Master of Arts (MA) degree, receiving a robust theological and philosophical foundation. Cambridge was one of Europe's leading academic institutions, and Whiting's time there equipped him with the knowledge and skills necessary to navigate the complex religious landscape of his time. Ecclesiastical career. Whiting was ordained as a deacon in 1500 and as a priest in 1501, marking the beginning of his lifelong commitment to the church and monastic life. His return to Cambridge in 1505 to pursue a doctoral degree underscored his dedication to his religious vocation and desire to further his theological education. At Glastonbury, he served as camerarius, overseeing the dormitory, lavatory, and wardrobe. This role reflected his managerial acumen and dedication to the monastic community, responsibilities that required both organizational skills and a deep understanding of monastic discipline. Following the death of Abbot Richard Beer in 1525, the monks of Glastonbury elected Whiting as Beer's successor through a process known as per formam compromissi, which allowed a higher-ranking individual to make the final decision. Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, with King Henry VIII's approval, appointed Whiting as the new abbot. Wolsey's choice was a testament to Whiting's reputation for piety, intelligence, and leadership. The first decade of his leadership was marked by prosperity and peace, with Whiting esteemed for his sober and caring spiritual leadership and his effective management of the abbey's daily affairs. Glastonbury Abbey under Whiting. Glastonbury Abbey, one of the wealthiest and most influential monasteries in England, thrived under Whiting's stewardship. The abbey housed around 100 monks and served as an educational institution for the sons of the nobility and gentry, preparing them for university education. The abbey's wealth stemmed from its extensive landholdings, agricultural production, and its role as a pilgrimage site. As the abbot of Glastonbury, Whiting was a peer of the realm and managed extensive estates, underscoring the abbey's significant socio-economic role. Whiting's leadership was characterized by a balance of spiritual devotion and practical management. He maintained the abbey's financial stability, oversaw the maintenance of its buildings, and ensured the monks adhered to the rule of Saint Benedict. His tenure saw the continuation of Glastonbury's traditions of scholarship and hospitality, with the abbey remaining a vibrant center of religious life and learning. In 1534, Whiting signed his assent to the Act of Supremacy, acknowledging King Henry VIII as the supreme head of the Church of England. Despite this, Royal Commissioner Richard Leighton was sent to inspect Glastonbury Abbey, finding it in good order but suspending Whiting's jurisdiction over Glastonbury town. Small management injunctions were issued, and assurances were given that the abbey was safe from dissolution. However, the 1535 Suppression of Religious Houses Act signaled the potential threat to even the great abbeys. This act, which led to the dissolution of smaller monasteries, was a harbinger of the broader campaign against monastic institutions, driven by the crown's desire to consolidate power and seize monastic wealth. The fall of Glastonbury Abbey. By January 1539, Glastonbury Abbey remained the sole surviving monastery in Somerset. Whiting refused to surrender the abbey, which was not covered by the Act for the suppression of lesser houses. His refusal to capitulate reflected his deep commitment to his monastic vows and his belief in the abbey's spiritual mission. On September 19, 1539, Royal Commissioners Leighton, Richard Pollard, and Thomas Moyle arrived unexpectedly at Glastonbury, ordered by Thomas Cromwell to find faults and facilitate the abbey's closure. Their thorough search uncovered money and plate hidden in vaults, and rumors suggested other valuables had been moved to other abbey estates. Whiting, now elderly and frail, was taken to the Tower of London for examination by Cromwell. The exact charges leading to his arrest and subsequent execution remain unclear, but it is generally accepted that he was accused of treason. Cromwell's remembrances indicate a predetermined outcome, with entries suggesting Whiting's trial and execution were already decided. The precise nature of Whiting's alleged crimes remains a matter of historical debate. Some accounts suggest he was accused of hiding treasures and supporting the papal cause against the king's supremacy. Others point to the discovery of documents defending Queen Catherine, Henry's first wife, as evidence of Whiting's opposition to the king's marital policies. Regardless of the specifics, it is clear that Whiting's execution was driven by the broader context of Henry VIII's campaign to eradicate monastic resistance and consolidate royal authority. Trial and execution. As a member of the House of Lords, Whiting should have been tried and condemned by an Act of Parliament, but his execution occurred before Parliament convened. This extrajudicial execution underscores the ruthlessness of Cromwell's approach and the precariousness of Whiting's position. He was returned to Glastonbury with Pollard, arriving in Wells on November 14, 1539. A trial, likely a mere formality, resulted in Whiting's conviction for robbing Glastonbury Church. On November 15, 1539, he and two monks, John Thorne and Roger James, were executed at Glastonbury Tor. They were hanged, drawn, and quartered, with Whiting's head displayed over the west gate of the deserted abbey and his limbs sent to Wells, Bath, Ilchester, and Bridgewater. The execution of Whiting and his companions was a brutal and public demonstration of royal power. The manner of their deaths, involving hanging, drawing, and quartering, was reserved for those convicted of high treason, signaling the severity of their supposed crimes. The display of Whiting's dismembered body parts served as a grim warning to others who might resist the king's policies. Beatification and Legacy. Richard Whiting was beatified by Pope Leo XIII on May 13, 1895, recognizing him as a martyr of the Catholic Church. His beatification was part of a broader effort by the Church to honor those who had suffered and died for their faith during the Reformation. In 2023, the Roman Catholic Diocese of Clifton named a pastoral area in his honor, further cementing his legacy. The lives and deaths of Whiting, Thorne, and James are commemorated for their unwavering faith during one of the most challenging periods in English religious history. Whiting's martyrdom has had a lasting impact on the collective memory of Glastonbury and the broader Catholic community. His story is a testament to the enduring struggle for religious integrity in the face of political oppression. The recognition of Whiting as a martyr highlights the ongoing importance of religious freedom and the sacrifices made by those who stood firm in their beliefs. Broader historical context. Whiting's life and death must be understood within the broader context of the English Reformation, a period of profound religious, political, and social upheaval. The dissolution of the monasteries, initiated by Henry VIII and orchestrated by Thomas Cromwell, was a key component of the king's break with the Roman Catholic Church. This process involved the systematic closure and destruction of monastic institutions, the seizure of their assets, and the redistribution of their wealth to the crown and loyal nobility. The dissolution had far-reaching consequences, not only for the monks and nuns who were displaced but also for the communities that relied on monastic charity, education, and healthcare. The loss of these institutions created social and economic dislocation, contributing to unrest and resistance in various parts of the country. Henry VIII's religious policies were driven by a combination of personal, political, and financial motivations. His desire to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon was a key factor in his break with Rome. The king's need for money to fund his military campaigns and extravagant court lifestyle also played a significant role. The wealth of the monasteries, accumulated over centuries, presented an attractive target for royal expropriation. The legacy of Richard Whiting. Richard Whiting's steadfastness in the face of such overwhelming pressure stands as a powerful symbol of resistance to tyranny and the enduring power of faith. His story resonates as an example of the human cost of political and religious conflict, and his legacy continues to inspire those who value religious freedom and integrity. The memory of Whiting and his fellow martyrs is preserved in various ways. In addition to his beatification and the naming of a pastoral area in his honor, Glastonbury Abbey remains a site of historical and spiritual significance. Pilgrims and visitors come to reflect on the abbey's rich history and the sacrifices made by those who once lived and worshipped there. Conclusion. Richard Whiting's life encapsulates the tensions and transformations of 16th-century England. His steadfast commitment to his faith, even in the face of immense political pressure and personal peril, exemplifies the conflicts between ecclesiastical authority and the burgeoning power of the English monarchy. The dissolution of Glastonbury Abbey and Whiting's martyrdom marked the end of an era, symbolizing the profound changes that reshaped the religious landscape of England. Whiting's story remains a poignant reminder of the cost of faith and the enduring struggle for religious integrity. His legacy continues to be honored by those who remember the sacrifices made in the name of religious conviction and the preservation of spiritual heritage. Thanks for listening. Like and comment. And please subscribe, as that will help us get more videos out to those interested in the Middle Ages. See you next time on Medieval Chronicles 1066. Stay curious.